Hello, I'm the Doctor. Welcome to DoctorGeek. Today, with one day to go before episode 5 premieres, let's take a look at everything we know so far about the Tsuranga Conundrum, assuming that's how you say it. First off, the original synopsis for episode 5, released by the BBC, reads, "Risk to life absolute. Injured and stranded in the wilds of a far-flung galaxy, the Doctor, Yaz, Graham, and Ryan must band together with a group of strangers to survive against one of the universe's most deadly and unusual creatures." Next, the later official synopsis released by Radio Times this week doesn't add much, saying, "The Doctor and her friends are stranded in the wilderness on a far-flung alien world, and must work together with a group of strangers to survive against one of the universe's deadliest and unusual creatures." So, combining these together, it looks like the TARDIS team will be stranded on a far-off planet in an even farther galaxy, and at least one of our companions will be injured. Together with another group of people, the Doctor and friends must work together to survive the deadly threat, with the risk to life being absolute. Now, luckily, TV and Satellite Week magazine provided us with much more information this week. The synopsis that they published is far longer, reading, "The Doctor and her companions, Graham, Yasmin, and Ryan, are incapacitated and recovering at the same hospital after being caught up in a sonic mine explosion on a planet that's piled high with junk. However, there's no rest and recuperation at the hospital as the TARDIS travelers, the medical staff, and other patients, including a pregnant man Yas who's about to give birth, come under attack from a small, ferocious creature known as a Pating. Meanwhile, at the heart of the mystery is something called the Tsuranga Conundrum. This adventure sees the team rely on each other more than ever before as they try to solve a series of tricky clues to defeat the deadly critter." So, wow, that is a lot to unpack, but it sure sheds a lot of light on that first brief synopsis. First off, we learn that the entire TARDIS team will be injured in what they're calling a sonic mine explosion, probably immediately after they land on this mysterious planet filled with junk. But while they are resting at the hospital, a small, mysterious creature called a Pating will attack them, and they will have to solve a series of clues to defeat it. As if that wasn't enough, though, we also have this mysterious Tsuranga Conundrum to deal with. So from what started off as a pretty brief synopsis has turned into what sounds like the most packed episode of the series so far. And given the pacing issues that we've struggled with, I can't tell if that will be a good thing or a bad thing. This Pating creature is by far the most interesting sounding detail from the episode, as we will see in the trailers that it is never shown. And from its name and description of being small and unusual, I have a feeling that it's not going to look terribly threatening when they first see it, but will turn out to be super deadly. Maybe similar to the rabbit from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
"That's the most foul, cruel, and bad-tempered rodent you ever set eyes on."
However, with that being said, we do have 2 short trailers to look through. So, let's see if we can use what we already know to shed some light on these scenes.
Sonic mine. Where are we?
We're in hospital, so it's just us, alone.
Okay, so the Next Time trailer opens with the Doctor saying "Sonic Mine" as her companions look on. And this is obviously the mine that will send them to the hospital. So this is probably the very beginning of the episode, right after they land, and presumably right before this mine detonates. Next, we see the Doctor walk into the hospital asking where they are. And in this scene, we can see Graham and Ryan on the right, and the pregnant man Yas Inkle on the left, played by Jack Shalhoub. Also on the left here, we see Ben Bailey Smith, who plays a character named Dirkus Cicero, as well as who I believe is Suzanne Packer playing General Eve Cicero, his sister. Behind her is David Shields, who's playing her robot servant named Ronan. Graham answers the Doctor's question, saying it's a hospital, and that it's just them, alone, as we see shots of Brett Goldstein, who's playing a medic named Astos, followed by a better shot of Suzanne Packer.
Risk to Life Ultimate.
As a computerized voice tells the people in the hospital that the risk to life is absolute, we get a shot of our last guest star in this episode, Lois Chimimba, playing the medic Mabel. And we end on a shot of the doctor doing some excellent corridor running. So, from this first look, we get a glimpse of all of our guest stars, as well as the sonic mine, and a look inside the hospital, but no word of the pating unless you count the warning from the computer.
Risk to Life Ultimate.
So, let's see what the slightly longer official trailer can tell us.
Where are we?
We're in hospital.
Nothing to worry about.
So what's that?
So this trailer opens in a very similar way to the first, with the doctor asking where they are as she walks into the hospital. Only this time, we see the medic Mabel attending to Yaz in a hospital bed, while Ryan lays in another. This time, we actually see Graham as he answers the doctor's question, and he looks very blurry and out of focus, almost like we're seeing him from the perspective of someone who's drunk or injured. So, I'm guessing that when the doctor wakes up, she's not going to be feeling too good. We see the medic Astos telling the doctor that there's nothing to worry about, but she sees something that makes her disagree.
I've encountered it before. They kill.
It's gonna kill us all, isn't it?
Next, we see a damaged communication console and the shadow of some terrible monster, which I think we can assume is the pating, as we can hear its ferocious snarl.
I've encountered it before.
It's interesting though that the shadow of the monster looks so terrifying, as we know that the creature will be small. So I'm sure that this is probably the first time that we will see the monster in the episode, and we will be led to believe that it's much larger than it really is. As we see the doctor running through a hallway, and then get a glimpse of the robot Ronin helping Mabel to safety, we hear a woman say that they've encountered this creature before, and as the doctor says they kill, the woman worries that it will kill them too.
I'm trying to imagine the answer to the question. I can't quite see the solution.
Lastly, the trailer ends with some quick shots of Astos, Yaz, and Ronin as bright lights illuminate all of the rooms of the hospital. So perhaps they have to use electricity to take down the monster, which we can hear snarling in the background. Finally, as we see the doctor walking through hallways, deep in thought, she says, "I'm trying to imagine the answer to the question, but I can't quite see the solution." This is possibly in reference to these strange riddles the doctor and friends will have to answer on their way to defeating the pating. So, the second trailer gives us a little taste of what we can expect with this creature called the pating. But as for the Tsuranga Conundrum, I can't even begin to guess at what that could be about. I'm afraid that, similar to the Space Rally or the Ghost Monument, this Tsuranga Conundrum will end up not really paying off on the mystery that it creates. But since the episodes have been getting better over these past few weeks, I'm ready to be pleasantly surprised, as this episode does look like it's action-packed, and from what we've seen so far, it looks like it will be very nice to look at too. With that concludes our look at the episode 5 trailer for the Tsuranga Conundrum, and it will hopefully be an exciting adventure on a far-off planet, which, as I've said before, is Doctor Who at its best. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a video, and be sure to let me know in the comments if you have an idea for a video you'd like to see me make in the future. As always, thank you for being my companions on this journey today. I'm the Doctor. Bye for now.